Listening test instructions. The listening test is about 50 minutes. There are 6 parts in listening test. You will have about 6 minutes to listen to each passage and answer the questions. The passage will be played once.
Hey, you look concerned. What's on your mind?
The final exam. I'm not fully prepared yet.
Well, don't worry too much. You still have 3 days.
Yeah, but 3 days will fly past in a wink.
Well, you still have time to cram things in your brain anyway.
Question 1. Why is the man looked worried?
You will hear a conversation in 3 sections. You will hear each section only once. After each section, you will hear 2 or 3 questions. You will hear the questions only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hey, I just came down from the ridge and found this crashed weather balloon tangled in some bushes. It looks damaged. The balloon part is ripped and the instruments are hanging loose. Is this yours?
Yeah, that's one of ours. We launched it from the base station early this morning to collect upper atmosphere data. Temperature, humidity, pressure, wind speed. This equipment is pretty sensitive, though. Did you manage to pick up the data logger or the GPS tracker?
I saw a small box attached to the balloon's frame. It's a bit scratched, but seems intact. I was worried the crash might have wiped the data.
It's possible. The data logger inside that box records all measurements during the flight. If it's physically intact, we might be able to extract the data. But first, we need to carefully secure it. The batteries could be dead or damaged, though, which would be a problem.
What should I do with it? I didn't bring any special tools.
Just wrap it gently in some cloth or paper to protect it from shocks and moisture. We'll take it back to the lab and connect it to our data extraction system. The key is to avoid jarring it further.
What did the hiker imply about the box's state after the crash? Why did the technician want the device handled gently? What concern did the technician express regarding the power source?
You will hear the second section of the conversation shortly.
Okay, I've had a look at the data logger. The exterior is battered, but the connectors and ports seem mostly okay. The battery shows a low charge, though. That could mean the device didn't finish logging all data or shut down early.
So, is the data lost?
Not necessarily. Sometimes, even with a low battery, the device stores data in non-volatile memory, so it doesn't get erased. The question is whether the crash caused any corruption in the files. I'll try connecting it to a diagnostic tool to see if the files are accessible.
What if they're corrupted? Is there a way to recover them?
There are specialized data recovery programs that can reconstruct damaged files, but success depends on how severe the corruption is. If the logger's memory chip is physically damaged, recovery might be impossible. We might also have to cross-check the partial data with other balloon launches or satellite data to fill gaps.
Is there any way to prevent this from happening next time? Losing such critical data seems risky.
Good point. We're actually experimenting with redundant data transmission now, sending real-time data back via radio signals during the balloon's flight. But it's tricky in mountainous terrain because signals can drop out. Still, having some backup data sent live reduces risk.
Why might some data still be intact despite the device's low battery? What is a fallback method if parts of the data are unreadable? Why did the technician mention radio signals?
You will hear the third section of the conversation shortly.
The diagnostic scan completed, and thankfully, most of the data files are intact. We've recovered temperature, pressure, and humidity readings for most of the ascent. Some wind data is incomplete, but that's better than losing everything.
That's great news. So what's next?
We'll clean and stabilize the data, then feed it into our climate models to help improve weather predictions. This data from this altitude is really valuable for understanding mountain microclimates, which are quite complex.
I'm glad I found it. What should I do if I find another one?
Just contact our station immediately. Keep the equipment safe as you did. If you're interested, we could even train you to assist with balloon recoveries. It's challenging but rewarding.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks for explaining everything. I didn't realize how fragile and important these devices are.
It's a team effort. Thanks for your help out there. It made a big difference in saving this critical data.
What is the next step after data recovery, as explained by the technician? How does the hiker react to the opportunity to get involved in future recoveries?
You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Good morning. I need to send this package overseas, but it's very fragile. Could you help me with that?
Good morning. Of course. Where exactly is the package going?
It's going to Australia. I want to make sure it arrives safely without any damage.
All right, first let me ask, what's inside the package? Is it glassware, electronics, or something else?
It's a set of delicate ceramic vases. They're pretty breakable, so I packed them carefully with bubble wrap inside.
That's great. Bubble wrap helps a lot. Do you have a sturdy box for it?
Yes, I used a double-layered box for extra protection.
Perfect. Since it's fragile, we recommend marking the package with fragile stickers so handlers know to be extra careful.
Do you have those stickers here?
Yes, I do. I can put some on for you.
That would be helpful, thanks.
Also, do you want to buy extra insurance for the package? You can turn you to compliant with dulcating packagens. This will crate ship one together. Since it's fragile and valuable, insurance will cover you if anything happens during transit.
That sounds like a good idea. How much extra does it cost?
It depends on the declared value. How much is the package worth?
About $200.
Okay, insurance for that value would cost around $15.
All right, let's add the insurance then.
Great. Now, would you prefer standard or express shipping?
How long does express take?
Express usually takes about 3 to 5 business days, while standard might take 10 to 14 days.
I think express is better. I want it to get there quickly.
Understood. I'll prepare the label for express shipping with fragile stickers and insurance.
Thanks so much for your help.
You're welcome. Here's your receipt. You can track the package online anytime.
Perfect. Have a great day.
You too.
Why did the man decide on express shipping? Why did the clerk inquire about the package contents? How did the man reinforce the outer packaging? What can be inferred about the package's contents? What primarily influenced the additional charge for package protection?
You will hear a conversation followed by 6 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Good morning, Mr. Harris. Thank you for coming in today. I've been exploring ideas to make our school more eco-friendly, and I'm particularly interested in starting a plastic reuse project.
Good morning, Principal Martinez. That's a fantastic initiative. Reusing plastic not only helps reduce waste, but also educates students about sustainability. What ideas do you already have in mind?
Well, we've noticed a lot of plastic bottles and food containers ending up in the trash. I was thinking about involving students in collecting and repurposing them. Maybe turning them into items like plant pots, pencil holders, or even art projects.
That's a great start. You'll first want to set up a collection system. Labeled bins around the school specifically for clean, reusable plastic. You'll also need to make sure students understand what types of plastic are safe to reuse.
I see. So we'd need some awareness sessions first.
Exactly. I could help with that. We can run workshops or assemblies to teach students about the different plastic types, such as polyethylene, terephthalate, and high-density polyethylene, and which ones are most suitable for reuse. It's also important to emphasize proper cleaning.
That sounds helpful. What about the actual use activities? Should we guide them or let them come up with their own ideas?
A bit of both. Start with simple projects, like cutting bottles into planters or using caps for mosaic art. Then, encourage them to innovate. You'd be surprised at how creative students can be.
Great. I'm also thinking about connecting the project with our science and art curricula.
Brilliant idea! You can incorporate topics like plastic decomposition, recycling processes, and environmental impact. In art, they could design functional items from waste.
This is really coming together. What kind of support would we need from the staff?
Teachers will need to supervise collection and ensure safety during projects. You'll also need custodial staff on board to help manage plastic storage. And of course, regular communication with parents is key.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Harris. I think this could truly make a difference in our school community.
I agree. Let's work together to make it a model project for others to follow.
What does the principal suggest about student involvement in project ideas? Why is cleaning plastic a critical step before reuse? What potential educational benefit does the engineer highlight? What support role is expected from custodial staff? What does the engineer imply about students' abilities? What does the principal mean when saying, "This is really coming together"?
You will hear a news item once. It is about 1.5 minutes long. Then 5 questions will appear. Choose the best way to complete each statement from the drop-down menu.
Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, millions of people have been working from home. Remote work became the norm to help stop the spread of the virus, and many companies quickly adapted to this new way of working. Virtual meetings, online collaboration tools, and flexible hours became part of daily routines for employees everywhere. Now, as vaccination programs have expanded and many pandemic-related restrictions have been lifted, companies are encouraging workers to come back to the office. Businesses say that being physically present fosters better teamwork, communication, and creativity, which can be difficult to achieve through screens alone. Recent studies show that around 60% of companies have adopted hybrid models, where employees split their time between home and office. Meanwhile, about 30% of organizations plan to bring employees back full-time by the end of this year. Reactions from workers vary. Some are happy to return to a more social environment and find it easier to focus, away from home distractions. Others worry about losing the flexibility they gain during remote work and about longer commutes, childcare challenges, and potential health risks. To ease this transition, many employers are offering more flexible working hours, redesigning office spaces to be more comfortable and safer, and providing wellness programs to support employee mental health. Experts believe the future of work will be a hybrid balance, combining the benefits of both remote and office work. This new model is expected to give employees more choice and freedom, while helping companies build stronger, more connected teams.
You will listen to a 2 minutes video. Then 8 questions appear. Choose the best way to answer each question.
Welcome to today's Media Roundtable. We're discussing maintaining credibility and public trust in the digital news era. Joining me are 3 experienced journalists, Sarah, David, and Mark. Sarah, could you start by sharing your views on the biggest credibility challenges journalists face today?
Thank you. In this digital age, the biggest challenge is misinformation spreading at lightning speed. News is consumed instantly, but that also means rumors and falsehoods circulate rapidly. For journalists, maintaining credibility means double-checking facts rigorously before publishing anything. We also need to be transparent with our audience, explaining how we verify information and openly correcting mistakes when they occur. Honesty about the process builds trust.
I agree with Sarah. Another significant challenge is the pressure to report quickly. The 24/7 news cycle and social media create an environment where speed often seems to trump accuracy. Journalists can feel pressured to break news fast to keep up with competitors, which risks errors slipping through. Balancing speed with reliability is critical. We must resist the temptation to chase clicks or sensational headlines at the expense of truth.
That's a very important point. Public trust has declined partly because many media outlets focus on sensationalism and drama to grab attention. This often leads to exaggerations or oversimplifications, which erode credibility. As journalists, we have a responsibility to focus on thorough, in-depth reporting that reflects reality accurately. Furthermore, engaging respectfully with our audiences, listening to their concerns, and answering their questions can help rebuild trust in journalism.
I'd add that digital platforms themselves present both opportunities and risks. They offer incredible reach, but they also enable misinformation to spread widely. Journalists today need to be adept at using digital tools to verify sources and identify false news quickly. Collaborating with dedicated fact-checking organizations has become essential in this fight against misinformation.
Media literacy is also crucial. We can't just focus on what journalists do. Educating the public to critically evaluate news sources is vital. It's a shared responsibility. Both journalists and audiences need to work together to maintain a healthy information environment.
Lastly, transparency about funding and potential biases is key. People want to understand who is behind the news and if there are any conflicts of interest. Being open about these issues fosters trust and helps audiences make informed judgments about what they read and watch.
Thank you all for these valuable insights. Clearly, maintaining credibility in digital journalism requires a combination of accuracy, transparency, engagement, and public education. It's an ongoing effort in an ever-evolving media landscape.
You will hear a report once. It is about 3 minutes long. Then 6 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question from the drop-down menu.
The use of body cameras in classrooms to monitor student behavior has recently gained attention as a method to improve discipline and safety in schools. Proponents argue that body cameras can serve as an objective tool to record incidents, helping teachers manage classrooms more effectively. According to supporters, the presence of cameras may deter disruptive behavior among students, since they know their actions are being recorded. This could lead to a more focused learning environment and fewer interruptions during lessons. Teachers who favor this technology believe that body cameras can provide clear evidence when conflicts arise between students or between students and teachers. This evidence can protect educators from false accusations and help school administrators address disciplinary issues fairly. Additionally, advocates say that video recordings can be reviewed to better understand students' behavior patterns and identify those who may need extra support or intervention. On the other hand, there are concerns about privacy and the impact on student trust. Some educators and parents feel that constant surveillance could create an atmosphere of suspicion and anxiety, making students uncomfortable and less willing to participate openly in class. Critics argue that the classroom should be a safe space for learning and growth, not a place where students feel they are constantly being watched. There are also questions about how the recorded footage would be stored, who would have access to it, and how long it would be kept. Privacy advocates emphasize the importance of clear policies to prevent misuse or unauthorized sharing of videos. The risk of surveillance technology being applied unevenly or disproportionately targeting certain groups of students is another issue raised by opponents. Furthermore, some experts question whether body cameras are the best solution for behavioral challenges in schools. They suggest that improving teacher training, increasing counseling services, and fostering positive school cultures might be more effective in addressing the root causes of disruptive behavior.